Hey everybody, how's it going? So, it has obviously been a minute since I have posted content, and especially daily vlogged. So, I feel a little rusty, and this might be a little clunky and a little awkward because, yeah, I'm just really out of practice, but I wanted to hop on because I would like to be a bit more in practice, and so much has happened. So one of the reasons that there was so much radio silence for a long period of time, almost 9 months, is because I got pregnant. It took a really long, I know that there was like a lot of questions because we announced that we were ready to have kids. And we didn't even announce that like right away, like the moment that it happened. Like we waited a few months, like this had already been kind of old news in our lives. And boy, it was just really freaking fracking hard to get pregnant, but I didn't really want to post about it because it just felt super personal and really sad. It was very emotional, and I'll go into the details more about that in another video. I'll like really do it justice, but it was just really hard to get pregnant. And I know that a lot of you had questions. You were like, are you not having kids anymore? A lot of you thought me and Grayson broke up. Did you and Gray break up? And that was just, it could not have been further from the truth. Gray and I are more in love than ever. We're actually coming up on our 6-year wedding anniversary this weekend. We're gonna go to the Poconos. We're gonna go to a murder mystery bed and breakfast. It'll be our first time away from the kids, so I'm both excited and sad because they're peanuts. But basically, so there was a lot of radio silence because I got pregnant, and so like I said, getting pregnant was really hard, and then being pregnant was very hard. It was a lot harder than I thought. I'll also go more into this probably in future videos, but like I really had conceptualized this whole becoming a parent thing a lot different than it ended up going, which I feel like is pretty common. We all have these ideas of how things go, and then things like being a parent are like an animal of their own, and they go, they take you on whatever ride they take you on, and I totally knew that that was a possibility, but I thought that, like, you know, we had all the power of science on our side for getting pregnant. We were both young and relatively healthy, and I just thought that getting pregnant would be much easier than 2.5 years, multiple surgeries, blah, blah, blah. It was a thing. But it wasn't. It was really hard. We also had 2 uteruses to work with, and it just wasn't happening. So getting pregnant was a lot harder than I thought. I also knew that pregnancy itself would be challenging. Like I thought it would be like chronically uncomfortable and that delivery would be hard and scary, but boy, pregnancy was more than just challenging. And I'll go into that. But pregnancy was like fairly debilitating for me. And there was parts that I would totally do it again though. And I'll probably share more about that in the future. There was parts that were so, like, I would, if I didn't get to experience those parts, I would like deeply grieve because they were wonderful. But there were parts that were so hard, and I got really ill, and then we had a lot of emergency things happen, and I'm still suffering from like some postpartum complications. And then I had to have a surgery after pregnancy because I was hemorrhaged, blah, blah, blah. Oh, bummer. I should really have content warning this in the beginning for medical stuff. I'm gonna put a content warning hopefully in text, and I'm not going to go into it. That was basically the most that basically as in detail as I'm going into it, but there was just a lot of complications. It was pretty scary, and I will share my birth story and my pregnancy story in a video in the future. But basically this has been 4 minutes and 17 seconds to say that you experienced some radio silence because the minute that I posted my big, like, I'm back video, and the minute that I graduated from my master's program and I was finally ready to like get back into content making, I finally got pregnant with two kiddos. Yeah, pregnancy just like totally took everything out of me, so it just wasn't happening. I mean, that's not true. I actually did completely film part 2, and I'm editing it now. So when you do watch part 2, I will be pregnant in it. I don't think you can tell because I shoot like from here up, and I wasn't going to announce it. I thought I was going to post earlier, but it's just a beast to edit. Anyway, but now that I have expunged the children out of me, I feel so much different physically, and mentally, because, you know, the physical, you're being like chronically ill can really affect your mental health. Hey, sorry, I had to dip for a second and now I'm in a new space. But basically I am feeling so much better and so much more capable and excited to be online, make cool things, because just being online really itches my creative bug. It's really important for me when I have the capacity and ability to do it. And I just miss you folks, and I'm excited to connect with you. So this is really short, but just let me know in the comments like what you want to see, what you want to hear about. I've already teased some things like my birth story, fertility, pregnancy, etc. I'm probably gonna, as far as like the parenting journey goes, I'm probably going to cut it off there. Like, I'm not going to tell you too much about the kids themselves or anything unique to them or who they are. I'm going to keep things, like when I talk about them, keep things really gender neutral, keep things really vague, because we're just going to keep them private until like maybe they can make some decisions about how much they want to be online. But things like pregnancy, fertility, and stuff like that, I feel like is more about Gray and I than about the kids. So I feel comfortable talking about that. I also feel like it could be really useful talking about like how a person manages dysphoria during pregnancy. So you can expect stuff like that, but not so much about the kids, and not a ton about parenting either, because parenting online is like, oh, it is like a realm of problems, and also it can be problematic, it can be helpful, it's a very personal thing to share. So I'm just not going to share about parenting. I'm not sharing about the kids, but I will share about fertility, I will share about pregnancy, I will share about birth. And yeah, and probably on the main channel, I'm not going to talk too much about any of this stuff. This is probably just going to be a second channel, Instagram, Twitter kind of thing. And I might, I don't know for sure, post some content on Patreon. No pressure though to follow me on Patreon if you don't have the means or the interest. But this is basically a video to say I'm stoked to be back. I miss you folks. So let me know in the comments what you want to hear about, and also what you've been up to, because I love reading about you and like what you've been up to, and I just miss you, and feeling connected to you and learning about what you've been up to would make me feel good. So if you want to share it, feel free. It would make me really happy. While I am feeding bottles, it would be really fun and pleasant to read the comments and hear about what you've been up to. Yeah, so cool. I'm stoked to be back. So much has changed. And I'm really excited to share some of that with you. Neat. Okay, yep, I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about. Cool. All right, bye everybody.